Let me turn on my speaker. Yeah, hello. Hello and welcome to our YouTube live event. So, hello and welcome to our YouTube live event on Turkiye Scholarships, a recipient tale and next steps. So, I am host and my name is Abdulmalik Yakub. So, I'm thrilled to have you guys here with us today. So, for those of you who are new, who may be new to the Turkey Scholarship, this event or program will give you insight on the opportunity and the opportunity to know more about the to know more about how to pursue your academic dreams in Turkey. So during today's live stream, we hear from a special guest who is one of the recipients of the Turkiye Burslari scholarship. So he's going to share with us his experience regarding studying in Turkey. He's going to discuss the benefits of the scholarship and offer advice to recipients, yes, and to others that are considering that want to consider that are considering application for the Turkiye Burslari scholarships, or probably those that have already applied and are waiting for their mail. So, in this video, we also cover important topics such as the application process, the eligibility requirements, and next steps for those who have been selected as a scholarship recipient, because there are some applicants that have already done their interview. So please, as we begin this live stream, I want to take a moment to emphasize just how incredible the scholarship program is. So this scholarship is an initiative of the Turkish government, and it offers a wealth of opportunities for international students. So through the Turkiye Burslari scholarship, students are able to pursue their academic dreams in a multicultural environment. So this scholarship covers everything from tuition fees to accommodation and travel expenses. Even it covers your health insurance, and you are going to receive stipends if you are a recipient. So beyond the practical benefits of the scholarship, so what really sets Turkey scholarships apart from other scholarships is its emphasis on building bridges between cultures, on joining cultures together. So by studying in Turkey and experiencing its unique blend of Eastern and Western influences, students gain a new, so you gain a new perspective on the world. You meet a lot of people, you meet new people. So that's one of the main benefits, because it's a very diverse environment. Turkey is a very diverse environment. So and the scholarship brings people from different uh, countries, so across the globe. So if you are considering applying for the scholarship, or you are simply interested about learning about the program, so I will encourage you to stay tuned and participate in the live stream. So please, you can also invite your friends. You can share this link to them so that they are going to witness what our host is going to discuss with us as regards the Turkey Burslari scholarship. So I'm going to introduce our host now. His name is Mahmoud Ibrahim Olaide. Is a recipient of the Turkey Burslari scholarship, and is a medical student at Marmara University in Turkey. So please stay tuned as you listen to his experience. Uh,
Okay, thank you so much for having me. As he said, my name is Mahmoud Alaide Ibrahim, and I'm a medical student at Marmara University, Istanbul, Turkey. So, Abdul Malik has said it all. Studying in Turkey is unlike studying anywhere else around the world because, firstly, the geographical location of Turkey is very, very unique. It blends this European culture with the Asian culture. I live in Istanbul, my university is in Istanbul. If you go all around Istanbul, you see the marks left behind by the Roman Empire, by the Ottoman Empire. It's really amazing. So, yeah, and he also said that it's a blend of many cultures around the world. Like, if you just study in Turkey as any other international student, you feel like any other international student. But if you study with Turkiye Burslari, if you study with Turkish Scholarship, you have the opportunity to meet other students from other parts of the world. For example, when I came here immediately, one of the perks of being a Turkish scholarship student is that you're going to learn the Turkish language for a year. And it's really amazing that in the school, there was like students from 62 different countries. That is really amazing. Like you have these um, you're seeing the world through 62 different perspectives, 62 different cultures. It's a really amazing experience. And one of the questions, like one of the first questions I'm going to be answering here is, what is studying in Turkey like? So as I said, studying in Turkey is just like studying anywhere around the world, but if you study as Turkiye Scholarship student, you have several specs of meeting other international students, of learning Turkish, and also you have your health insurance covered, you have your tuition fee covered, and you have your monthly stipend covered. So I guess that's, and I'm a boring kind of person, so I don't usually go around Istanbul, so I don't know, like, yeah, the food is amazing also. So Abdul Malik, over to you. Do I just
thank you. It's your introduction as regards the scholarship is thank you for that. So please, you should go on to talk about other benefits, the eligibility, how hard is it to apply, how hard is it, how hard is the selection process, and stuffs like that.
okay? So I'll start with how I heard about Turkiye Burslari scholarship. So I got out of high school in 20. I got out of high school in 2018, and immediately I got out, my a friend of my dad sent this link to my dad. So I applied in 2018, and unfortunately I didn't get the scholarship in 2018. So I had to apply again in 2020 when COVID struck. So I applied in 2020, and I gained the scholarship as uh, part of the 2021 cohort. So that's pretty much how I heard about the scholarship. And what made me interested in applying for the Turkiye Burslari scholarship was that, yeah, during COVID that time I was in OAU, so we went home without doing anything, and I was doing a lot of things. Was I continued with memorizing the Quran, and at some point I just got tired, and I wanted to apply for scholarship abroad. And actually, Turkish scholarship wasn't the only scholarship I applied for. I applied for scholarships in United States universities, and I got some of them, and some of them I didn't get them. So, and at the end of the day, Turkish scholarship was the most, um, how can I say this, was the most beautiful, was the most attractive out of all the scholarships I got. So I settled with this scholarship. And about how I prepared for the application process. So the application process is like in two stages. You go on tbbs.turkiyeburslari.gov.tr and you set up your profile. You put in your information, your passport information, the income, like your parents' income, the number of siblings you have, like pretty much every information about you, your educational background, and the kind of voluntary activities you've done in the past. So after you complete that part, then you move on to the application page. On the application page, you have the chance to choose your university, then you submit your letter of intent and the likes. So, how I prepared for the application was because I registered for the scholarship before, so I just created a new account from scratch, and I made sure I got my transcripts from my secondary school. And about the transcripts, there is a standard format for getting a transcript, for designing the transcripts. So I made sure uh, I included the last 3 years of my high school, and I included all the informations about every trimester in the transcripts. So I'm going to share the transcript with Malik for him to share with the community. So it's going to be really useful. So I made sure I designed the transcripts in a very standard way, and I got my recommendation letters ready, and I also I started writing my letter of intent because it's one of the most important aspects of the application process. Then when the application came out, I made sure I didn't like rush to submit my application. I sent it to different people. I sent it to some of my friends who are on the scholarship already to check my application, whether it's worth getting the scholarship, whether it was going to fetch me the scholarship or not. So yeah, that's pretty much about how I prepared for the application process. And as I said, the most challenging part of the application process was organizing the information. You know, pretty much everyone has um, one qualification or the other. Like um, before anyone started applying for scholarship, maybe you have this voluntary experience. You have a lot of voluntary experience. So, well, one of the most challenging aspect of the application process is organizing the information you have, organizing the qualifications you have to what will interest the scholarship admin. And also, for example, I was applying for medicine, and I had voluntary experience in uh, different areas that are not related to medicine. So I had to like uh, choose the voluntary activities that are related to medicine and not bore scholarship um, the scholarship admin with a lot of information. I just give them the relevant informations. And also another challenging aspect of the application process is uh, the letter of intent aspect. Like with the letter of intent, you only have 5,000 characters to convince the scholarship admin that you are worth getting the scholarship. Just 5,000 characters. And I know it's kind of like easy for you to put in a lot of information, a lot of irrelevant information, like I've done this before, I've done that before, trying to like woo the scholarship. But there is no like there's no enough characters to accommodate that. So you have to like put in relevant information, and you have to structure it in a particular way that it's going to allure to the scholarship admin. So that part is also a challenging part. And also like after applying for the scholarship, after a successful application process, I was invited for the interview around June or July. I can't really remember. So I was invited for the interview, and I went to Abuja for the interview. So the interview was in two stages. The first stage was where we had a 15 question test. Yeah, it was 15 question test, and the second part was when we had a face-to-face interview, like a personalized interview with the scholarship board. So the first part, like the first one where we had this test, the test was basically mathematics, and um, it wasn't like just traditional mathematics. It's it's like all these quantitative reasoning and logic and all those things. Like, so I would say before you go for the interview, if you are invited for the interview, before you go, make sure you revise your quantitative reasoning and logic parts, and just brush through your uh, mathematics class. So, uh, what advice would I give to someone who is thinking about applying for the Turkiye Burslari scholarship? So I guess I've said pretty much everything. Make sure you don't bombard them with a lot of information. Structure your information in a way that it aligns to the course you want to study. If you want to study medicine, put in the voluntary activities and the certificates and awards that are related to medicine. Don't just give them any information, give them relevant information, and invest a lot of energy in writing uh, the letter of intent, because that's the only chance apart from your results. uh, if you have a very good WAEC result and a very good JAM, JAM can also come in handy. You can go to the interview with your JAM result. They may ask about the JAM result, and it may boost your chance. So having a very good result is one part. Then having a very good letter of intent is another part, to uh, would I say seduce, to seduce uh, the scholarship admin to give you the scholarship. So it's another chance of letting them know you. And also make sure in the application process, in the application form, make sure you make use of every chance to write something. For example, in the hobby information, write hobbies that are going to help you realize your goal in the um, course of study, in the course you want to study. For example, there are some hobby information like computer, playing sports, and traveling, reading books. So make sure you choose the hobbies that align with your course of studies also, and tie your hobbies like they don't necessarily have to align with your course of study, but make sure you tie them with your course of study. In the hobby information section, after you choose all those hobbies, you have like this little box where you can explain your hobby information. So make sure you write something there. Make sure you write something catchy there. And there is also some other parts where you can write some other things. So make sure remember that you are trying to tell them that I am fit to be awarded the scholarship. So you shouldn't let any chance to tell them that you are fit to be awarded the scholarship. You shouldn't let that chance slide. So make sure you make use of every slight opportunity. So the like all the advices I'm gonna give a prospective applicant. I don't have everything in my head right now, but as we go on, I may like revisit this particular question. So I'm gonna go on to the next question. So what was my reaction when I found out that I was awarded the Turkiye Burslari scholarship? So yeah, my reaction was just like any other person would have reacted. Like my reaction was beautiful, and I was excited. I was happy. Uh, Coming back from COVID break in 2020, uh, I was in medical school, Obafemi Awolowo University Medical School in 2021, and I was still carrying the stress I experienced from the COVID break, like not going to school, just wasting my time at home and all of that. So when I got the scholarship, I'm like, okay, finally there's an end to all of this. So uh, it was uh, it was a really happy and an incredible reaction from my end. And that time, it came at a very good time. That it came at the time that I was preparing for my second physiology in course. So yeah, the fact that I I had the chance not to prepare for my exam again, I just let everything. I'm like, okay, I like I'm going to this university. I'm just going to do my physiology exam. And like I stopped preparing for the exam. I failed that particular exam. I failed the exam. I had a 49.5. Like I just let everything that had to do with OAU, and I focused on the scholarship. So yeah, that's pretty much about my reaction when I found out I was awarded the scholarship. And what were the next steps after I was awarded the scholarship? So um, the next step was the next step is to go to the Turkish embassy. Like, if you get awarded the scholarship, don't worry. The scholarship admin is going to give you every information you need, so as to. Uh, I mean, they are going to give you every information you need as per the things you need to do post the scholarship award. So, in my case, like I guess the process is different from country to country. In my case, I had to go to Abuja and to the Turkish embassy in Abuja and start my scholarship, my visa process, my visa process. So the student visa is pretty much like simple to apply for because you you get awarded the scholarship. Like you can get it within just a day or two. So like getting the scholarship is a really good thing. Like everything just becomes fast, even at the Turkish embassy in Nigeria. And another thing is that you have to go to the Ministry of Education, like Federal Ministry of Education, to attest your WAEC result and to attest your um, transcript. Like there's this, the Nigerian Ministry of Education has this particular stamp. That's it must be on your WAEC result and your transcript for it to be recognized when you come to Turkey, and for the WAEC result and transcript to be recognized at the Turkish embassy. So you have to make sure you do that also. And there's also this thing called I can't remember the name, but the Turkish embassy is going to stamp your WAEC result and your transcript. So it must also be there before you come to Turkey, because uh, you didn't study in a Turkish high school. So by the time you come here, there's a process called Denklik, like it's called equivalence in English. So your certificate is going to be converted to its counterpart in the Turkish education system. So for it to be converted, for it to be like taken as an original certificate, it has to bear the uh, symbol, it has to bear the stamp of the Nigerian Federal Ministry of Education, and it also has to bear the stamp of the Turkish embassy in Nigeria. So I guess that's pretty much everything you need to do after you get the scholarship in your home country. Um, and yeah, after you do all of those things, after you get your visa, after you attest your uh, WAEC results and your transcript, you have to get back to Turkish scholarship, like the website. You have to upload all those things on the website. Then after that, you're going to request for your ticket. You're going to choose the day you want to leave your country for Turkey. Then after that, your flight ticket is going to be sent to you. Then uh, like within the date you choose, you can choose, for example, you can choose between 22nd of September to 25th of September. So the ticket is going to be bought within that time frame. Then you can leave your country. And how did I find accommodation in Turkey? So I'm going to make a little bit of explanation here. Like right now, there is there's like two scholarship under the Turkish scholarship. There's like pure Turkish scholarship. Then there is Turkiye ISDB joint scholarship program. So the one I got was Turkiye ISDB joint scholarship program, and it didn't come with accommodation. Like uh, the scholarship didn't pay for my accommodation, but uh, they give me like accommodation assistance. Like every month, I get some amount of money that is going to cover my accommodation. So, but for pure Turkey scholarship, you're going to get accommodation, then you get stipend. So like the amount I get every single month is more than the amount pure through K scholarship student get. So the extra amount goes towards my accommodation. So immediately I came to Turkey, I called my friend and he picks me up. So we went to a hotel. I stayed for like 5 days in a hotel. So um, one thing I would like to say at this point is that if you get chosen for the Turkiye ISDB Joint Scholarship Program, make sure before leaving your country you come with at least $500 or like more if you're richer, so that uh, prepare to stay in a hotel for like 3 to 4 days before you find accommodation for yourself, because the accommodation procedure, if you have to take care of it by yourself, is not that simple. But um, if you're awarded the if you're awarded only through K scholarship, like the other one, your accommodation is going to be taken care of at the airport. The scholarship admin are going to pick you up and take you to your dorm, where you can just settle in. Like you can start staying in a dorm from the very first day. So, but the other one, you may have to stay in a hotel, or if you have a friend that can look for a dorm for you before you get here. But in my case, I didn't have someone to look for a dorm for me before I got here, so I had to stay in a hotel, then apply to a dorm. After like I moved to a dorm after like 5 days. But yeah, I'd like to talk about the first dorm I stayed back then. Was there was like 4 people in a room, like with me. I stay with 3 other people, and it's a very large space. Like everybody has their own private space. You have your own study table, you have your own shelf, and everything. It's amazing. It's not just like any kind of dorm. It's it's really amazing. And there's also some other things that come with being in a dorm. Like if you stay in a private dorm, which I did, um, breakfast and dinner are served at the dorm. It comes with uh, your scholarship payment. So you give a particular amount to to the dorm, then uh, you get fed in the morning and at night. So it's not compulsory you eat at the dorm, but yeah, if you are not that rich or you feel like conserving money, you can eat at the dorm, but you are not forced to do so. And also there is depending on the dorm, there may be some activities just to like entertain the student. There may be some for example, in my last dorm, there used to be like football matches every week. We do rent some football pitches and we go play football. So it depends on the dorm you are. But yeah, that's pretty much about the accommodation. And also, you can choose to stay in an apartment. I told you that I'm giving a particular amount. It's called accommodation assistance every single month. So if I like, I can stay in an apartment. But I love the idea of being in a dorm, of being in a like student environment. So I'll move to the next question. What was my experience with the Turkish language class? This is another story on its own. Like the first time I attended my Turkish language class, like the only Turkish I knew was yemek istiyorum, yemek istiyorum. I want to eat. So that's pretty much the only Turkish I knew. So I didn't know any other thing. I started learning on Duolingo before I left Nigeria, but Duolingo doesn't. I would say just give you the uh, like some basic things like the sentence structure and the likes. But because I didn't practice with anyone, so I didn't have like any speaking experience. So I started learning Turkish like from the um, I started learning Turkish from the lowest stage, and I started learning a new language in that language. Like I'm learning a new language in a language that I don't know. So it was kind of hard for me, but luckily I had a very nice teacher. Her name is Nurgu. She's a very wonderful teacher. So she taught me, and I was able to like understand to some extent within a month. So I got used to the language barrier within a month, and pretty much every steps after that was it became simple. And I also like dedicated some of my energy to learning in the first month. Like yeah, I noticed that in the class there are some students who come from Turkey country like Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan. Like their language, even though they sound different to the air, but they are kind of similar to Turkish. They have the same sentence structure. They have similar words. So for them, they kind of know Turkish already, and these are the students that are mostly gonna sit in front of the class. And I noticed that students from countries whose language are not similar to Turkish, they sit at the back. Like as for example, students from Africa, they sit at the back. Some students from Europe, they sit at the back. Like they didn't show interest in learning the language. Like they because anytime a question is thrown at the class, like people who like understand it immediately, they are more uh, likely to answer the question. But what I did on my part was that I used to sit in the front where I can see the teacher, where if I don't understand anything at all, I could tell the teacher that I don't understand this, can you please explain it again? And that was really what helped me. uh, it was really what helped me in the first month. And after I did that for like a month or two, everything just became easier from there. But the other students who like didn't show a lot of interest from the beginning, they had some a hard time learning the language. So, what was my favorite part about studying in Turkey? My favorite part about studying in Turkey is that, as an international student, you're away from your family. At some point, you're going to feel lonely. But for me, uh, I kind of found my way around that because I was able to like find a community of people that's, how can I say this, like a community of international students that are also like that I go out with, I study with, and all of those. So uh, at some point I miss my family, but it's like um, I don't know how to say this, but like having this community of people that you can relate with is going to come in handy at that point when you miss your family and your friends and the people you are used to in your country. So that's a very good part about studying in Turkey. And another part is that it's a multicultural environment. Like in this dorm, there's students. There are students from different countries. So let's say I go for dinner in the evening, I'm not only meeting Turkish people. I'm meeting Turkish people. I'm meeting people from other parts of the world. And uh, one good thing I see about that is that we have conversations about their country. We have conversation about my country and the like. So it's like I'm seeing their country. I'm seeing their countries through their eyes, and they are seeing my country through my eyes. So that's a really amazing thing. And what is the academic environment like at my university in Turkey? The academic environment I in my university is it's really good. Like this is a common thing for universities in Istanbul. They have a lot of campuses all around Istanbul. My university is a very big university, so it has like 8 campuses all across Istanbul. Um, the dorm I live is like 20 to 25 minutes away from the main campus in Göztepe here. Then from my main faculty, it's like 30 minutes away. And another thing is that um, there's only like a handful of dorms on campus. Like dorms are not usually on campus here. Dorms are mainly off campus. I live off campus in a dorm. So that's another thing you need to keep in mind when you want to study in Turkey. You may not necessarily live on campus, except if you study in other cities apart from Ankara, Istanbul, and Izmir. But if you study in Ankara, Istanbul, and Izmir, you most likely will live outside of campus. So you have to keep that in mind also. And yeah, the academic environment, I would say the academic environment is really good. Uh, like in my case, I study at the Department of Medicine. We have 2 sets of classes. We have lab classes. We have problem-based learning classes where like students are going to be given a topic, then you research about the topic. So then you come back after like a day or two and discuss among yourself. So the teacher is just going to sit by and observe your discussion and observe whether or not cover a lot of you cover like major things about the case. So I think that's a very good approach to studying medicine, like giving a student the ability to explain to themselves without having a teacher doing that for them. So the amphi classes, the one we have uh, in lecture rooms, they are not compulsory. Like you don't have to attend them, but like attendance are not taken for them. So you may choose to attend them or you may not choose to attend them. And there are lab classes where you have to attend them. uh, there's a particular percentage coming from lab classes, and there's a particular percentage coming from the PBL classes, the classes where students are given the autonomy to explain to themselves. So yeah, that's pretty much about how academic is structured at my faculty. And also another thing, in particularly with my university, is that the library has a very um, large resource base. Like, they have hard copies. I don't go to the library that much physically. I don't explore the physical database, but I explore the online database. The online database is so wide. Like, in my case, there's Clinical Key. The school has a subscription to the to Clinical Key, and I can access it remotely from anywhere, from my dorm, from anywhere I am in Turkey. So, in as much as I'm a student of Marmara University, I can access it remotely. And if you subscribe to Clinical Key yourself, it's going to be really expensive. So the school has that covered. There's also JSTOR. There's also, they have subscription to a lot of journals. So, and I think that that's the case with some other universities here in Turkey. Like, there, there's this university, Boğaziçi University. There's Hacettepe University. There's Bahçeşehir University. So with all those universities, all those big universities, you have the opportunity to have access to a very large database that, if you subscribe to them yourself, is probably going to land you in debt. So that's um, that's the final part of the academic environment in Turkey, and the social scene at my university. The social scene at my university. So there's a lot of students' union. For example, engineering students' union, um, medical students' union, and all those students' union. So once you come here, you may, like, if you like, you can join all those students' union, and there are a lot of social events organized by those students union. As I said, the geography of Turkey is very amazing. There is, especially in Istanbul, there is this Bosphorus, like the straits that separate the European side of Istanbul from the Asian side of Istanbul. There are some islands. Uh, there are beaches, and there are, like, it's called Sahil. I can't remember what it's called in English, but there's some things like that also. Like, so those students union, at some point in time, they organize trip to all these places, and if you like, you can also go there by yourself. For example, yesterday I went there with a couple of friends, just to, like, talk and have a nice time. So the social scene can be like that. And yeah, if you are the kind that party, if you are the kind that like going to the club, you're covered also. There's Taksim here in Istanbul. You can go to party there overnight, Saturday night, and the likes. But yeah, and also this is about the scholarship. At some point, the scholarship will send you a mail about, okay, uh, the African Day. Like, the last year um, there was an event organized by the scholarship board. It's called the African Day. Then there's Pakistani Day. There is a lot for people from different parts of the world, for you to just meet at the scholarship board's office, and there's going to be a lot of activities. For example, during the African Day, there was a singer from Congo that has been living in Turkey for a very long time. So he was invited. Then there's a lot of speeches given at the event. And then we dressed in our traditional attire. I wore my agbada and my taja, and yeah, there was African flag everywhere. And you just meet people from different parts Africa, and that's it's really amazing. I mean, you make uh, an international network of friends. So, like even outside of your university, most likely if those kind of events are not there for you to um, to make use of, like a person like me, I'm not that outward. I'm not that outgoing. Like if I had my way around it, I may just stay in my dorm all day and not go out. But with that kind of social events being organized by the scholarship program, I had the chance to socialize with uh, people from other parts of Africa. And yeah, the thing is, it's just called African Day. It's just called Pakistani Day. It's just called, let's say, the Balkan Day. You can attend anyone you like. If you want to have Balkan friends, if you want to have a network of Balkan colleagues, you can go to the social events of the Balkans. If you want to have Asian colleagues, you can go to the social events of the Asians. If you want to have a lot of Pakistani friends, you can go to the social events of the Pakistanis. And apart from that, the scholarship has they also like um, send us informations about um, other opportunities that are going on in Istanbul or in other cities. For example, sometimes last year, the president of the uh, Republic of Turkey had a meeting with students from all over the world at the National Library in Ankara. So some students were invited. So that's a really amazing thing to sit in the same room with the president of Turkey and discuss some things with him. So it's a really amazing opportunity. So that kind of opportunity is also available with the scholarship program. Uh, so that kind of opportunity is also available with the that kind of opportunity is also available with the scholarship program. Just give me a minute, please. Okay, so that kind of opportunity is also available with the scholarship program. And yeah, I would move to the next uh, question. How do I manage my time between studying and socializing? Um, uh, Socializing in my own dictionary is just like, let's say, go out with friends or like do some other things, do some extracurricular activities that are different from studying medicine. So I how can I say this? Sometimes after finishing my exam, I go out with my friends and we just spend the time outside. So, but as a medical student, you don't have a lot of time to like over socialize, right? So, like you just literally study every single time. But yeah, like since we don't spend 24 hours of the day studying, yeah, sometimes I go out with my friends. Sometimes, yeah, as I said, I'm a very boring person. I'm a very boring person to be with, so I don't really socialize a lot. I just socialize with uh, friends that study the same course as me. I go out with them. Sometimes I go out with friends from other departments too. So I don't really have a lot of things to say about socializing because yeah, I'm a boring kind of person. Yeah, what extracurricular activities are available at my university in Turkey? So at my university, Mama University, there's a lot of extracurricular activities available. Like the university itself has some uh, extracurricular activities. It's organized. There's this thing. I joined this one last year. It's called Marathon. It's a marathon organized by the university, and yeah, it's one of the extracurricular activities. It's really amazing. By the way, I love participating in marathons, and also outside of my uni, there's a lot of extracurricular activities. There's a lot of marathon. There's a lot of let's say football matches being organized by the municipality of Istanbul. And back to my uni, uh, there's also this football tournament. It's called the Rectors Football Tournament. It's not only football; it's Rectors Tournament. It's consists of volleyball matches. It consists of football matches and other sports. So that's also on the extracurricular side at my university, and also the university also has International Student Day. It's an event where international students get to meet each other. They get to introduce each other's culture to anyone who is interested. Like there is a table occupied by students from different parts of the world. You show things that are interesting about your country to anyone who is interested. And yeah, there's also some other things like I pretty much see anything outside of academic as extracurriculars. So these can also qualify as extracurriculars. Like some weeks ago, I was sent a message by the rectorate of the university about a particular event. It's called Entrepreneurship Program. It's a program about innovation in medicine and the food industry. So because it's coincide with what I'm studying, so I registered for it. So it's also counted as extracurricular. So there is a lot of extracurricular activities to join, and there's also this cultural integration program by the European Union, in which Turkish universities participate in. Like my university participates in it. It's called Erasmus. So with Erasmus, you get the chance to go to a university in the European Union countries like Greek, like uh, Latvia, like Poland, like Italy, Germany, pretty much every university in the European Union. And yeah, your university in particular has to have an agreement with the university you can go to. So with that program, you can go to universities in the European Union and spend like 3 months, a minimum of 3 months, and a maximum of 1 year, and you can spend one semester there, just away from your university and pretty much studying the same thing, but I mean within uh, a totally different social background. Oh, there's some questions in the chat box. I'm sorry, I'm going to go through them now and answer them. So, can we apply as a transfer student if we're already in a university? Yes, you can apply as a transfer student, but not under the scholarship. You can't apply for the scholarship as a transfer student. You can only apply for the scholarship as a pure undergraduate or as a pure postgraduate student. So in my case, I was studying at Obafemi Awolowo University already at the Faculty of Medicine. I was already in year two, so I had to leave whatever I was studying and start over again. So that's a very difficult decision to make, but it's worth it, at least in my case. Can you change your interview location? There's only one interview location available in Nigeria. The interview location is Abuja. The only interview location available in Nigeria is Abuja. So I don't think you can change your interview location. And but what you can change, like if you have an exam, let's say you're already in a university and you have an exam that coincide with your interview schedule, so you can reschedule the interview. I know a friend who did that. So you just have to reach out to the scholarship admin and tell them about your situation, and they are going to reschedule it for you. So they are really responsive. And there's another question here. How can one get the link to get the scholarship, please? So I'm going to chat as me here and send you the scholarship link, www.turkiyeburslari.com. Just give me a moment to write this. turkiyeburslari.gov.tr. So you can find everything about the scholarship on this link. Um, is there any way you can be deprived of practicing your religion in Turkey if awarded the scholarship? Um, like the Turkey is a secular country, contrary to popular opinion that Turkey is an Islamic country. Turkey is not an Islamic country, even though there's a lot of mosques. There's a lot of mosques. There are churches also. So there's no like limitation on practicing your religion if you are in Turkey. I know Christian friends who still go to church, and yeah, as a Muslim, there's different mosque you can go to. So nobody's going to breathe down your throats that why are you a Christian or why are you a Muslim or why are you this, why are you that. So you have freedom to do anything, to practice any religion you like. Um, international networks of friends. Okay. Please, how easy is it to get a side job in Turkey? How easy is it to get a side job? So there's a caveat to getting a job. Like as a first year, you have to be here for at least 1 year before you can work legally under the Turkish law. And as an undergraduate, you can only work. So that means as an undergraduate, you can only work when you are in year two. So and you can only work for a maximum of 20 hours in a week. So I guess that's a lot of things to note. So keep in mind that immediately you get here, don't look for any job if you don't want to be deported. And yeah, there's a lot of online uh, job agencies. There's Indeed, there's Sahibinden. You can just go on them and look for the kind of job you want to, yeah, the kind of job you are interested in, and you can apply to them. So it's like that. Um, did you disclose that you're currently already a student at the Obafemi Awolowo University Medical School? Like, I guess one of the mistake I made in 2019 when I was applying for the scholarship was that I was withholding some information. Like, I was just corny about it. I went there with a folder of Obafemi Awolowo University. Then I had to go outside and leave the folder with my dad, like, because I didn't want them to know that I was already in a university. And they asked me about my JAM results. I told them, okay, my JAM result is 325, and they asked me that why wasn't I in a university. I was like, yeah, because the medicine is really competitive. So I guess the kind of information I was telling the the kind of impression I was giving out was that yeah, I had a very good result, but I couldn't even get it into a Nigerian university. So that is like really bad. That is a really bad impression to give the scholarship board. So if they if they don't ask you about it, you don't have to tell them about it if you feel like it's going to reduce your chance. But in my case, they asked me about my scholarship. They asked me about my JAM result, and I told them. I even showed them the proof, and yeah, because it's a very high result. So, like the information that comes after that must really coincide with the previous information you give them. So I told them that I was already in Obafemi Awolowo University, and they they followed with another question like, why do you want to leave? And I told them that, yeah, because of COVID, and immediately after COVID, I had to be at home for like 6 months doing nothing related to um, academics at all. Like the school was totally closed down. So I was like totally honest with them, and I guess that really boosted my chance of getting the scholarship. But yeah, we feel different about disclosing uh, like that kind of information. But in my opinion, I feel like if you can tell them everything, if they ask about it, if you tell them everything, it can boost your chance of getting the scholarship. So we're here to get the link you sent, please. I sent it as me in the uh, chat section. You see it under Mahmoud Olaide, www.turkiyeburslari.gov.tr. It's like yeah, that's the link. So yeah, somebody said there's no COVID now. Yeah, I mean, you can just another point made by my friend is that, yeah, Turkish, he wants to leave. Um, he was also studying electrical and electronic engineering at the University of Ibadan. So the reason he gave when he was asked about why he wanted to leave was that he wanted to be in an environment where he can, like, um, how can I say this, where he can, oh, I don't know how to say this, where he can, like, study practicals and also theory at the same time. And yeah, he also got the scholarship despite he also got the scholarship despite disclosing that he was already in a university. So I'll go back to the list of questions we have, because there's no more question in the chat section. So have I traveled to other parts of Turkey during my time here? So yeah, I've traveled to other cities, like two other cities last summer. I went with my dorm, so that's also another perk that comes with being in a dorm. So I went with my dorm, and I didn't have to stay in a hotel because my dorm has a branch in those cities. So we went to Cappadocia. You can look it up. It's a very nice place. Um, and we also went to Nevşehir. It's like it's called Underground City, because uh, during the introduction part, I told you that Turkey, like the present day Turkey, has experienced many different kingdoms before. So one of those kingdoms built these underground cities in the city of Nevşehir, and it's really amazing. It's a really wonderful sight to be. So yeah, I've traveled to other parts of Turkey during my stay here. And what is my favorite Turkish food? I don't think I have a favorite Turkish food. Like, I just eat anything. Like that's that's the reason it didn't take me a lot of time to get used to the environment here. So like, just if you want to come here, just be get ready to, like, experience a whole new set of delicacies. Like, so yeah, I don't have a favorite Turkish food. I just eat everything. So what is your favorite place to visit in Turkey? My favorite place to visit in Turkey, I guess Istanbul is really amazing. Istanbul is so amazing. So and there's a lot of wonderful places to visit in Istanbul. But as I said, I'm a boring person. I don't go to a lot of places, so I don't, like, have a favorite place to visit. What was my experience with the Turkish people? Yeah, Turkish people are really amazing. Yeah, they have some, you know, like, there are some things that you are going to do that are going to be strange to them, and there are some things that they are going to do that are going to be strange to you. So like I guess that is like that everywhere around the world. But totally overall, Turkish people are really they are amazing set of people. So and they are so curious. For example, the first time I got here, I met a Turkish. We call them amja, like we call them uncles, like the older ones. So I met him, and you're just like said, Nara, listen, like where are you from? I told him I'm from Nigeria. Then he told me like, which language do you speak? I told him I speak English, I speak Yoruba, and he was like, Dilinda seni seviyorum ne denir? Like in your language, how do you say I love you? I'm like, we say modi fere. So yeah, they can be that curious. What is the weather like in Turkey? Uh, there's four seasons. There's winter, there's summer, there's autumn, and there's spring. So pretty much like in European countries, in other European countries, and I guess yeah, the summer can be very hot, and the winter can be very cold. Right now it's a moderate weather. It's spring. Uh, there is moderate rain. There is moderate sunlight, and yeah, everything is amazing right now. And this is peculiar to Istanbul's weather. When I was learning Turkish, one of my Turkish teacher told me that there's like two things you can't trust in Istanbul. You can't trust Istanbul's weather, and you can't trust Istanbul's uh, ladies. So like that goes without saying. Like anywhere, especially right now, anywhere you're going to in Istanbul, make sure you have a light clothing under as an underwear, and you have you have your cardigan, you have your sweater, so that you don't uh, so that you don't so that you don't freeze to death. Uh, we have another question here. Is racism a thing in Turkey? Yeah, I guess I've never experienced like a major racism before. I've never like wait let me think. I've never experienced racism before, but you know there are some subtle racism, like how can I say this? Like in the train, I don't even think it's racism, but the I would just say they are good and they are bad people, but there's no like mainstream racism. You understand? There's no mainstream racism, at least according to my experience. You know, you may ask someone else and you may find out something totally different, but according to my experience, there is no like mainstream racism. And how did you manage the recent crisis? um, you mean the earthquake? If it's about the earthquake, the government really responded well to it. The earthquake affected um, like 11 cities, and yeah, it was very deadly. Like a lot of people died, up to 50,000 people died, and a lot more were injured. But the government responded really well to it. Even at my university, um, people don't like my university asked for donation for the earthquake victims, and uh, the donations were taken to the areas affected. And also, you know, I said it affected it affected 11 cities, so it affected the universities there also. It affected the students. So the government did really well to like immediately it happened. We were given like 2 weeks 2 weeks holiday, and within those 2 weeks, students from those universities, they were quickly distributed to universities in other regions, and we classes were made online because those students can't really uh, like start attending classes face to face in the new universities they were reallocated to. And right now we're having hybrid classes, like classes are both online and face to face. For me personally, I go to physical classes, and some students join it face to face. So that's pretty much how the recent crisis was managed. And what is my experience with the healthcare system in Turkey? So I would say the healthcare system in Turkey is really good. It's especially if you're if you're on scholarship, you get your health insurance covered. So if you're sick, just go to the hospital. There's this whole system around the Turkish healthcare system. Like you have to make an appointment from the time of COVID. Just anyone can go to the hospital. You have to make an appointment to go to the hospital, and there's this centralized health system. Like you have access to your own test result. It's called Inabis, like how can I like a portal where your test results are uploaded. And let's say you go to um, Istanbul Eğitim ve Araştırma Merkezi, Eğitim ve Araştırma Hastanesi, like Istanbul Education and Research Hospital. If you go there today and you go to another hospital tomorrow, the doctor there don't have to like uh, request your file from Istanbul Eğitim ve Araştırma Hastanesi. Your information has already been uploaded to that system automatically. The doctor just have to log into that system and take your it's called Turkish identification number, the Turkish Republic identification number. So you're just going to give it to the doctor, and the doctor will have access to everything, all your information, all your test results. So I guess that's really amazing about the Turkish healthcare system. And also another thing is that uh, like everything is really digital. The doctor is just going to make a diagnosis and prescribe some drugs to you. Then after prescribing that drug, a code is generated. You're going to take that code to the pharmacy. Then the instead of the doctors trying to write in very ugly handwriting, they don't write in ugly handwriting. uh, the doctor will just log the diagnosis, the prescription into the system and give you a code. So you're going to go to the uh, you're going to go to the pharmacy with that code, and the pharmacist is just going to give you the drug without you even knowing the drug you were prescribed. But only you just only know the code, and I guess that's really amazing. There's another question here: is there accounting course in my university? Yeah, I guess there is an accounting course. Wait, it's called Iktisat. Yeah, there's accounting course. It's also available in English. There's accounting course in my university. And what is my experience with Turkish culture? Yeah, the Turkish culture. Turkish have different cultures that are really amazing. They have this thing they call chai culture. It's called tea culture. Like they are really serious with their tea. And I guess I'm addicted to Turkish tea by now, after spending 1.5 year here. And other part of their culture is that yeah, I got invited for iftar one time, and they really want to feed you, like all this thing, like just like the Yoruba culture. Yeah. So yeah, the Turkish culture is really amazing. What's How did you undo the language barrier in Turkey? I guess the one of the most important thing to do once you come to Turkey is to learn the language. Even if you're For me, I study in 100% English. I don't need Turkish at all. Like I study in 100% English, but studying Turkish, I really appreciate studying Turkish because it makes it easier to navigate the language barrier. Like anywhere I want to go to now, I can easily sorry. So anywhere I want to go to now, I can easily ask for direction. yeah, if needs be, you can go anywhere you like with the Google Map. But the best way to go around the language barrier is to learn the language. And yeah, probably you may find some people who speak English or who speak other languages you speak, but that is kind of hard to come by sometimes. So you have to learn the language. And also in my case, if you want to study a course like medicine, even if you're going to study in 100% English, make sure you learn the language, because right from year four, you'd have to be, even right from year three, you'd have to be going to the hospital and be interacting with the patient. You have to take histories and the likes. And, the patient, they are not shipped from England, or they are not shipped here from Germany. So there's no guarantee that they are going to speak English. So you have to know the language to be able to interact with them if you want to study a course like uh, medicine, dentistry, nursing, physiotherapy, and the likes. So, what is the cost of living in Turkey? So, as I said, Turkish geography is really amazing. It's a blend between Europe and uh, Asia. So, yeah, and it's also different. The cost of living is also different from city to city. Like Istanbul has to be the most expensive city to live in, and Ankara and Izmir and some other cities. There are some most expensive cities to live in, and there are less expensive cities to live in. But generally, Turkey has a cost of living that is between that of Europe. Is not as expensive as the cost of living in Europe, and it's not as cheap as the cost of living in Asia. How did I handle the cultural difference between my home country and Turkey? Yeah, talking about cultural difference, the only cultural difference I noticed was when it's related to food. I said I'm a very boring kind of person. That doesn't mean I don't eat. I eat a lot. So, Nigerian food, maybe Nigerian food are on this side, Turkish food are totally on the other side. And the way I went around it was that uh, I just, I don't know, like I just got used to eating Turkish food pretty much immediately, because there's no other thing to eat, and I wasn't cooking myself. Cooking is boring in my opinion, so I wasn't cooking myself, so I just got used to it. And it was like I've been eating it before. Like I just get used to it pretty much immediately. So you have to keep that in mind also. Like if you are not going to be staying in an apartment where you have the chance to be cooking yourself, and also like African foodstuffs are not um, readily available, even though there are African markets in Istanbul, but they are kind of more expensive than the foodstuffs that are kind of readily available. So you have to get used to eating something totally different what you from what you're used to before. I'm resending the link right now: www.turkiyeburslari.gov.tr. Okay, so I just resent it now: www.turkiyeburslari.gov.tr. So, and some other things like, yeah, you I don't know if this is just me and the people I'm close to. When it comes to dressing, when I was in AU, I have all these, what's it called? I've forgotten, but all this material, all this Yoruba style stuff, all this, Nigerian style stuff, but they are just not, um, they are not fit to be worn here because of the weather and the likes. I mean, if you wear, imagine wearing, oh my God, wearing agbada and wearing cardigan on it. So I would say the dressing style is also different, and you have to get used to that. I have my agbada here. I have my other Nigerian dresses here, but I don't usually wear them. I only wear them to rare occasions. So that is like another cultural difference that you have to get used to if you want to study here. And what was your experience with the academic workload in Turkey? Yeah, the academic workload, especially at the medical school, is really crazy. So you just have to get used to it. In my own playbook, we as a human being, we can get used to anything. So you just have to like manage your time better and make sure. One thing that helps me is that I go to classes and I make sure I listen uh, to the lecturer, and I make sure I pay attention a lot. And if there's anything I don't understand, I have the lecturer's email. I can reach out to them, uh, and there's this. It's really amazing in my school. Within between every classes, there's 10 minutes break. So within those 10 minutes break, I can quickly go to the lecturer and have him explain the things I don't understand to me. So the workload is crazy, but if you do it effectively, if you go to classes and you study efficiently, and if you approach the lecturers with anything you don't understand, I guess it's going to be easier for you. Like um, that is you studying smart and not carrying all the weight on your shoulder by yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much how I handled the academic workload at my university. How did you find opportunities for research or internship in Turkey? So I've been reiterating this uh, pretty much from the start of this conversation. Like studying in Turkey as an international student is one thing, and studying in Turkey as an international student who holds the Turkiye Burslari is another thing entirely. The scholarship board is really amazing in the sense that they organize social events, they organize some other things. There's this thing called International Students Academy. You can learn skills. You can. I joined the last year one. It was about innovation in medicine and health. Um, like you can there's a wide range of programs available in the International Students Academy. So you can learn skills, you can learn photography, you can learn calligraphy, you can learn um, the prophetic medicine, you can learn the ancient Istanbul medicine, you can learn innovation in health, you can learn like you can learn international trade. I done that one also last year. It was organized by the Ankara Chamber of Commerce. So there's a lot of opportunities available, like being in Turkey alone, even not as a scholarship student. But what the scholarship does is that every opportunity they send it to you, then you choose the one you want to apply for. So there's a lot of opportunities available, and internship, especially for internship, there's an internship organized by the scholarship board itself. It's called Uluslararası Öğrenciler Stage Program, uh, International Students Internship Program. So I applied for that one now, and it's going to start in September. No, sorry, it's going to start in July, August, September. It's going to be like within those months. So like being on the scholarship literally makes everything easy for you. And about research, so I'll talk about research in the context of the university you're in. For example, my university uh, and my faculty, I guess this is peculiar to my faculty. So we start our research journey from the very first year. With me, I'm in year one right now, and I'm currently carrying out a research with with 5 other colleagues. So the research is about the the effect of AI in medicine. So that's peculiar to my university. I don't know about other universities. So in my universities, we're exposed to research pretty much from the first year, and by the time we graduate, even if I'm not interested in research at all, whether I like it or not, I would have like six research published, because I'm going to spend 6 years here. So, and I guess that's really amazing. And there are some other opportunities that you can explore on your own. You can reach out to your lecturer, whether he needs any assistance with any research he's carrying out. And if you show a very high level of competence, then he can give you the opportunity to help him with his research. And personally, I know this research. It's about medicine. So I'm really sorry that I'm speaking more about medicine. I'm sorry that I'm speaking more about medicine, but I don't really have experience uh, about the other departments. I'm so sorry. So there's this organization. There are some private organizations that you can join, and you can help them with research. It's just for you to learn the art of research, and even you can do it on your own. There's Elsevier Researcher Academy. I'm going to write it here. You can explore it in your free time. They have a lot of things. They have a lot of courses related to. Just search it on the on Google Chrome or uh, whatever uh, search engine you use. Just search for it and you see the link there. So they have a lot of courses that you can take. And uh, for example, let's say you want to approach your lecturer to help him or her on the research he or she is carrying out. So you have to show some level of competence. So Elsevier Research Academy is going to like uh, give you the kind of skills you need to before you can start looking for research opportunities. So that's pretty much about it. What is the student community like in Turkey? I guess yeah, the student community is also like that. Is like that of Nigeria. Also, you know, in Nigeria, you meet people from different parts of the country. Also, in Turkey, you meet people from different parts of the world. And there's also students union here. There's students union in Nigeria also. Um, what else? Yeah, they organize symposium also. In Nigeria, we organize symposium also. So it's pretty much like the student community everywhere else. Just like the student community in Nigeria is diverse, the student community here is also diverse also. How did I handle the academic language barrier in Turkey? Yeah, fortunately for me, I don't study in Turkish, I study in English, but I also know Turkish. So, you know, my university is Turkish majorities, there's a lot of Turkish students. So sometimes, even though I study in English and the language of the faculty is English, so the lecturers sometimes explain in Turkish if the Turkish student don't understand, but the lecturer is obligated to speak in English, at least in my case. But some other students, they study in Turkish. I don't know how they get used to it. I mean, maybe they just get used to it. I don't know. But get studying in English is a very good thing. So what was your experience with the Turkish education system better than Nigeria's? Of course, and you know, I've been in Obafemi Awolowo University before, so I would say compared to the university I'm currently in, the university I'm currently in is better than Obafemi Awolowo University. At least the medical school, the one I am, is better than the one at Obafemi Awolowo University, and I can only speak in the context of my university. I can't speak in the context of other university because I don't know like what is happening over there. So in my university, like pretty much everything from the start of the semester is planned out. We have this thing called uh, like the system used in my faculty is called the committee system. Like we have the first committee, the second committee, the third committee, and the fourth committee. So for the first committee may focus on let's say pathology, for example. The second committee may focus on microbiology. The third committee may focus on anatomy. The fourth committee may focus on neuroanatomy. So, but that is just like a topic for the committee. In the committee, you may be studying like anatomy, biochemistry, physiology, like the topics in those courses related to the topic of the committee, and I think that's a very nice system. That's a very nice system to use, and also like uh, when I was in OAU, in a particular day, like the class rep is going to be the one to tell us we have this class today, we don't have this class today, and they like our class finished by 2 o'clock today. You know, like yeah, it's a thing. Like uh, that's it's some it's like a type of management, but the one we have here is better, and I really appreciate it. So that the at the start of the committee, uh, a document is released regarding like containing the name of the lecturer that's going to be teaching you, the recommended textbooks for the committee, um, the amount, the number of classes you're going to have during that committee, the amount of hours you have to dedicate, the amount of lab classes you're going to get, and it's broken down into days. For example, tomorrow, yeah, today is a holiday. Tomorrow, May 2nd, uh, everything is planned out from 8:40 to 9:40, from 9:40 to 10:40. Like I can just wake up in the morning and look into it and go like, okay, so my class finished by 8 o'clock today. I just plan everything out. So it's a really amazing system to use. So I would say, yeah, it's better than OAU. I'm comparing university to university. I'm comparing medical school to medical school. So I don't know about like the whole Nigerian education system and the whole Turkish education system. That's not the comparison I'm trying to make. I'm making the comparison between my own medical school and the medical school I was before in Nigeria. So I would say it's better. Uh, do you work while studying? That's don't tell anyone, okay? So, okay, I'll just say my simple answer to this is that I'm a year one student. I'm not allowed to work, so I don't work. Thank you very much for that. Uh, what is your favorite Turkish historical site? I've been to only one. It's called the Istanbul Archaeological Museum. So uh, I guess that qualifies as my favorite uh, historical site. And how did I handle the different education system in Turkey compared to my home country? Mm, like, yeah, I just got used to it. I was, I guess we've answered this question already. What was my experience with the Turkish banking system? So according to what I said earlier, like being on scholarship it opens a lot of opportunities to like everything just become easier. Before you come here, the scholarship uh, board is going to open a bank account in your name, so you don't have to go through the hassle of opening a bank account all by yourself. So let's just assume you are not under the scholarship. So if you need to open a bank account, firstly you need your residence permit. You need your residence permit card and some other things in order to open a bank account. So it's simple. But if you're on scholarship, the scholarship is going to take care of it for you. What was my experience with the Turkish legal system? I've not committed any crime before. I've not had any reason to have any business with the Turkish legal system. So I don't know how the Turkish legal system is. But one thing that is amazing, like sometimes if you want to apply to a dorm, you may need this. It's called the police report in Nigeria. It's called another thing here. I don't know how to translate it. So you can just go on this thing. It's called the e-devlet capacy, like electronic government gateway. So you can just go there and download that particular document. So it's going to show whether or not you've been convicted before. Okay, so it's gonna show whether or not you've been convicted before. So I'm trying to round this up really quickly. We don't have a lot of time on our side. So that document is gonna show whether or not you've been convicted before, and you can just download it online. How did you handle the academic pressure in Turkey? I've talked about this before, so I'm gonna skip this question. What was my experience with the Turkish healthcare system for international students? So I've talked about this before also. Like, it's amazing. In the context of international students, if you want to stay here, you have to, as an international student, you have to have health insurance, like an active health insurance before you can apply for the residence permit. So um, having a health insurance just it makes it easier for you to access the health care to access healthcare services. So I would say it's good for international students. The healthcare system is good for international students. So how did I handle the different teaching styles in Turkey compared to my home country? The teaching style is not that different, except what I mentioned about the problem-based learning as my faculty, like where uh, students are just given a case and they're allowed to explore that case on their own. The teacher will just stand by. The teacher wouldn't say anything but observe and grade the discussion they have. So it's like if you're a medical student, it's like this differential diagnosis had by doctors, in all those small conference rooms. So that's just what is a little bit different about the teaching styles here. And yeah, it's not hard to get used to. You just have to carry out your research and make sure you contribute to the discussion if you want to have a very good percentage. How did you handle the different social customs and traditions in Turkey? I guess we talked about this already, so I'm going to skip it. How did you handle the different rules and regulations in Turkey? Mm, the rules and regulations. Yeah, the thing is, I've never, uh, I've always been a law-abiding citizen in Nigeria, and also here I'm a law-abiding citizen, so it's not really hard for me to like abide by rules and regulations. So yeah, what was your experience with the Turkish sports scene? I'm not really interested in. Okay, if marathon qualifies as sport, so I'd say I participated in a marathon before, and I'm gonna participate in another one. I'm gonna participate in another marathon. So yeah, that's pretty much the only sports I'm interested in. Other thing, I'm not interested in watching football. Yeah, but if you're interested in watching football, there are some of the UEFA matches that have been organized in Istanbul, so you can buy a ticket and join and watch the match. But yeah, that's just me. I'm not interested in them. So yeah, if there's also this the directories of youth and sports, so you can go on their page and have access to sport events, the current sport event, and there's also this Sport Istanbul, Sport Istanbul. So you can go on their website. You can go to the gym. They have a lot of gym all across Istanbul. with at a very discounted rate, a ridiculously discounted rate. You can go to the gym, you can go to the swimming pool, you can play basketball and the other things. So yeah, the sports scene is really amazing. And what was my experience with the Turkish hospitality and friendliness? Yeah, like you can't just. This is. I would like to make like a very quick explanation before we go on. Like you can just meet someone in the train or like someone on the streets and just expect them to be like totally friendly. I mean, everybody's just minding their business in Istanbul. So like, there's a lot of people who don't really care what you're doing. Like nobody will bother you. But if you're lucky to have Turkish friends, they're really friendly. They invite you to chai. They really take their tea seriously. They take it seriously. So they overall they are really friendly. They are cool. They are warm set of people. But yeah, you may meet some assholes on the streets. I'm sorry to say that word. But generally, like uh, Turkish tradition is hospitable and it's friendly. How did I handle the different social etiquette in Turkey? In Istanbul, like yeah, you just have to like you, I I don't know like you there's a there's a different social etiquette in Istanbul. Like you meet you see people in the train kissing and the likes. You just get used to it because yeah. What was my experience with the Turkish public holiday? Mm, yeah, they today like there's Labor Day today. There's Labor Day in Nigeria also in Turkey. So I'll say the public holiday is just like pretty much normal, and they have their own national holiday. For example, there's this holiday in memory of the founding father of the Republic of Turkey. So uh, like you're going to be every university is uh, obligated to release their student like to be on holiday on this kind of holiday. And yeah, it's in response of the founding father of the Federal Republic of Turkey, of the Republic of Turkey. So it's special. Like at some point, all the trains are going to wait, and the Turkish national anthem is going to be read, and the siren is going to be sound. So yeah, that one is like a very grand thing. Back at my university last year, there's this formal march like by what I call them cadets. So there's this march by cadets. I guess that's uh, the the most important public holiday in Turkey. So, what was my experience with Turkish environmental policies and practices? Yeah, the environmental policy is pretty much simple. Like, there's a dustbin there are dustbins on the street, so you don't dump litters on the street. Uh, you have to dump them in. Hello. Yeah. So sorry for the glitch. So currently I'm not allowed to work. So I don't know how the work-life balance is, uh, but yeah, in the context of medical school, it's literally medical school, and then life. So, what's also experience with the Turkish volunteer and community service opportunity? Yeah, there's a lot of volunteer and community service opportunity. There's you can volunteer with AFAD. It's called the Disaster Response Team. You can volunteer with the Turkish Red Cross. You can all there's this student union in my faculty is called Gençler Yüzü Doktoru, like uh, young and something doctors. I don't know how to translate that. So you can volunteer with them also. So, for example, especially during this very hard time when Turkey just got out of uh, earthquake crisis, so there's a lot of organizations to volunteer with. And what are my advices to Nigerians and other nationals? So my advices would be don't apply only for the Turkish scholarship, apply for other scholarship also, and after you get offers, go for the best. Don't apply for like opportunities. Then when the opportunities come, choose the best. And also, I would say like don't settle for less. Like just apply, uh, exploit the ocean of opportunity that is available to you. Make good use of those opportunity, and yeah, I wish you good luck, and thank you very much for listening to me. So I would hand over to Abmalik at this point if he has anything to say. Yes, SAT. I took SAT. So, if you want to study in English, you may need to take SAT too. You may need to take IELTS or TOEFL. But in my case, I just took SAT because SAT is an English exam on its own. So I uh, took SAT and I was able to get an English course. And also, before I started studying in my department, I took a language exam, a language proficiency exam. It's called Mama University English Proficiency Test. So I took it and I passed it. So if you don't have a lot of money to spend on uh, international exams, just write SAT at the level of an undergraduate, or you can write GRE at the postgraduate level, and the university is going to take care of the English proficiency. I mean, you know English already, so by the time you want to start studying, just you don't have to prepare so much for the exam, just pass it.
Uh, I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined us for this live stream. So we hope you found the insights and information shared by the guest valuable and information and informative to you. So I would like to express my gratitude to my guest or to our guest for sharing his personal experience. So it's really helped a lot. Uh, and his experiences and expertise with us. So, so as well as the viewers who asked questions and participated in this conversation. So thank you all for joining this live stream. So remember that the Turkish Scholarship, once again, is an incredible opportunity for international students to study in Turkey and gain valuable experience. The benefits are like first class benefits that most of the scholarship does not offer. So if you know about most other scholarships, such as uh, the Chevening scholarships, there are so many other scholarships. There's a stipendium on Garicum scholarship too. But I would say that the Turkish scholarship is like the most popular, the most applied to scholarship program in the world. So it's going to be a very nice experience as discussed by our guest. So to be a recipient, so the feelings and so on is going to be is going to be very top notch. So if you're interested in applying, just go to the link shared, the Turkiye Scholarship link. I'll put it on the banner now. So you can go to this link and apply and look for the information. So you are going to find the eligibility requirements, the age requirements, the academic requirements, and so on. So, I guess, do you have anything to talk before we end the live stream?
Yeah, I'm going to. I have some valuable resources that any prospective applicants can use. So I'm going to share them with you so that you can share it in the channel community. But not right now. I'm going to share them with you after we end the live stream. So you can send it. You can share it to the scholarship community. And also, I would love to uh, introduce a little bit about myself before we go. Like, yeah, once again, Mahmoud Alaide Ibrahim, a medical student. Yeah, that's blah blah blah, what everyone know. But I also do some other things. For example, I just started my YouTube channel last last month by March. So you can just search for my name on YouTube, Mahmoud Alaide, and the channel is gonna come up. If you are interested in like um, if you're interested in contents like psychology, philosophy, medicine, and the likes, you can just give me a subscribe. You can hit my subscribe button. I've been making a lot of wonderful videos. You can check them out. Thank you very much. And yeah, that's it. You're muted.
So you can see the banner for the speaker's YouTube channel. So please do well to subscribe to his channel and check his amazing content. So thank you all for joining us today on our live stream. So we look forward to seeing at our next event. So thank you very much. So, so I think I'll end this now. Thank you.